Movie buffs, welcome back to the Movie Bay. This is D. In today's video, we are going to take part in the Rad Pack Community Challenge, the Rad 9, the movies that made you. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a look at 9 movies that made me, meaning made my love affair with movies. This is just 9. It's so many more, but for the sake of the challenge, we're just going to do 9. I'm not going to do any honorable mentions or anything like that, but what I will do, you know how we do over here later on down the road in the close future, I'm going to remake this challenge, and we're going to add more movies. But for now, we just want to stick to the 9. And we're going to start with, speaking of 9, we're going to start with Batman 1989. Batman 89 is one of my favorite movies of all times. Batman, it's a toss between Batman and Batman Returns, but for the sake of this video, we're going to say Batman 89. It made me see Batman. Up until this point, Batman was just either like the old Adam West Batman or like, you know, the Justice League cartoons. Batman was very different. Or we always saw Batman as a guest in like the Scooby-Doo episodes and stuff like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So it was a very different this was a very different take on Batman with the black suit. And I remember the blowback that the producers and directors and just the higher ups who was making all the decisions on this movie when they casted Michael Keaton, the blowback that they got. But when people saw that first trailer, it changed everything. Michael Keaton was phenomenal as Batman, and he was a damn good Bruce Wayne. All around, Keaton is definitely going to go down as probably the best Batman. Probably. It all depends on who you ask. I do enjoy Keaton. I think he's like, far as Batman go, I think he might be the best Batman, but not the best Bruce Wayne. Does that make sense? All right. So far, I don't know. I got to go back and look at it and think about it, but I'm just saying right off the cusp. So yeah, Batman 89 is definitely one of the movies that made me the movie buff that I am today. Second, we got from 1987, we got RoboCop. The original RoboCop with Peter Weller and Nancy Allen. Just a fantastic movie. This movie had it all. It had a comedy, satire, tragedy, comedy, satire, over-the-top violence. It was a masterpiece. Paul Verhoeven did such an amazing job with this movie. I liked the second one. The third one was very disappointing. The remake it had some redeeming moments, but it was disappointing as well. It wasn't no way near true to this. And I was hoping for, if they ever remade this, that it would be true to form. But again, RoboCop 1987, definitely a movie that made me, for sure. Next up, we got from 1986, we have Transformers the movie. The original Transformers, the movie, the animated movie, the best Transformers movie. Better than all of the Bayformer movies. The new one that's out, I saw that was excellent, but this is still the best Transformers movie. It had it all. And again, this is probably going to be looked at by a lot of Transformer fans as the best because it was G1. This is a G1 movie. Now, the new one is heavily based on G1, but this is still the best Transformer movie to date. And it's animated. And I know it's not fair to compare an animated movie that was based off of an animated series to a live action version of that same movie, but it was just better. Next up, we got, I forgot to put the year anyway, but we have Back to the Future, the original Back to the Future. I liked all 3, but for the sake of the movie, we're going to go with Back to the Future. Back to the Future was such a unique concept. I loved it. It was well done, well executed. The acting was great. The effects was great. Back to the Future is definitely one of the series. This whole series is a series that made me. Next up, we have from 1984, Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is definitely a movie that made me a movie buff. I love Ghostbusters. I have Ghostbusters 1, 2. I have Afterlife. I have almost the complete Ghostbuster cartoon series. I think I got like, I think it's 7 volumes. I got 5. So I love Ghostbusters. Fantastic movie. Fantastic series. Definitely one of the movies that made me. Next up, we have from 1984, Beverly Hills Cop. I loved Beverly Hills Cop. I thought it was probably one of the best movies I had ever saw up until that point. And it's still one of the best movies that I ever saw. Fantastic. I loved everything about Beverly Hills Cop. I love 1 and I love 2. 3, but by the time they got to 3, it was a little, but 1 and 2 was phenomenal. I actually like 2 just as much as 1, to be honest with you. Next up, we have from 1982, Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan. What a fantastic movie. I love Star Trek. It's my favorite sci-fi series. I like Star Trek better than Star Wars. I know that's kind of, I'm a Trekkie, so I do like Star Wars, but if I had to pick one that I would follow, if I was only allowed to only follow one, I would definitely pick Star Trek over Star Wars. I just really love this series. So we're talking about Star Trek. Basically, I think The Wrath of Khan is number 2 in the original movies. Yeah, the Star Trek, the motion picture, Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan. Fantastic movie. Definitely made, that movie set me up on the path to become a Trekkie. And then when Star Trek The Next Generation came out, that sealed the deal. Next up, we have from 1981. This is a movie that I really love, and it used to come on all the time when I was a little kid. Now, in 1981, I was a kid. I was a little kid, preteen. So this movie used to always come on TV around the holiday times. Around Thanksgiving, it would run a couple of times on TV from Thanksgiving through Christmas. It was like it was an unofficial holiday movie back when I was a kid, and that's the Clash of the Titans. I love the Clash of the Titans. The 2 remakes, the remake and then the sequel to the remake, they okay, updated for a modern time. I enjoy those, but this original is just an epic movie. And it still looks and hold up pretty good today. Of course, the effects is a little older, but you can still enjoy the living hell out of this movie today. I love Clash of the Titans because this is a movie I used to always watch with family. Family would always come over during the holidays, and we would sit in front of the TV and watch Clash of the Titans. Fantastic film. This, to me, this is right up there with Charlotte's Web, the Peanuts movies of the holidays. And next but not least, last but not least, this is 1980s, The Blues Brothers. Man, listen, this is a movie that I love. I watch this movie. I still watch this movie periodically. It's funny. I love the car chase scenes, just the unnecessary destruction of all the cars. I like the story, the plot. And in fact, me and a couple of friends from work, we was in our break area. We was talking about this movie a couple of days ago. This is a fantastic movie, and it's timeless. This is a timeless movie. This movie is one of the movies that will stand the test of time. The Blues Brothers. Well, guys, that's my 9 entries for the Rad 9 Community Challenge, the movies that made me. Also, Tim Talk Talkies have another challenge. This time it's your top 25 from the 80s. I'm working on my list now. I'm not going to rush this one. I think he said we got all the way up to the 31st. So look for that one. I'm not going to say when I'm going to drop it, but I'm not going to rush it like I did with the 90s challenge because I felt like with the 90s challenge, I left stuff out. But with only 25 movies, I'm going to leave stuff out. You can look on my channel if you want. I did a top, I think, 50 or 60 from the 80s. But for Tim's challenge, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the 25, but I'm going to have to do them in order so they can be properly ranked. So, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.